Hey everybody, we are in Philadelphia today for the Eastern State Penitentiary tour. It's a historic prison, was built originally in the early 1800s, closed in 1971. Not only is it sort of a historic landmark here in Philadelphia, right in downtown, but it's also, at night, it turns into one of the creepiest places in all the land. They've got one of the best Halloween haunt attractions in the US. It was named #1 by the Travel Channel a couple of years. We're gonna go check it out. Haunted abandoned prison at night. That's gonna be scary. That's gonna be scary. But first we're gonna go through the day and just get a tour of the history of the prison. But you know what would be great? It'd be really great if we had some friends here with us.
Friends would make it.
If we had some friends here with us, that would be incredible.
That would
so
be awesome.
let's see if we can do that. Close your eyes.
Wish really hard.
And click your heels together. Click your heels together. I wish we had some friends to do this with us, okay?
I wish
we had some friends to do this. I wish we had some friends to do this with us. Hey, look, it worked! It worked! We got some friends here with us.
Yay.
You guys want to go tour a prison?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Sounds like a good time.
We'll do it at daytime. Then you guys up for doing this at night in the dark?
No. No.
Oh my gosh. Let's do it. So we found our friends. Let's head on in.
Okay. Let's
All right. I'm already feeling a little trapped. Being expert travelers, we did buy our tickets in advance online. We got in line a little bit faster because we'd already pre-purchased tickets. Now we've got our audio players, the little MP3 player for you to carry around, and it's a self-guided audio tour. You can hit the button at certain points. They don't really cover it in the tour, but there is an information booth that's been here since the 1800s, and if the prisoners ever were confused and lost, needed some information, they stopped by this booth right here. It's a true story. I wouldn't make anything up like that. It looks like somebody already tried to get out this way. And that's already starting to feel a little locked up. All right, here's the main tour. We're going into one of the cell blocks. This is the first cell block. It opened in 1829. These are sort of more like waiting cells while you awaited your punishment or your sentence. Obviously, they know everybody would try to open these doors. This is what it was like in one of these old original cells in the first cell block. So they designed this, they had a contest to design a closed-in space where they could keep all these different prisoners confined together. And the guy who won it designed this cell block. This next section of the hallway is restored to how it looked in 1830. And they had prisoners here who were sentenced for robbery, murder, theft, different things like that. And typically they were sentenced for about 2 years here. Into the cell with ye. Now we're stepping into one of the cells. There's bathroom, toilet. The other room that we stepped into is a restored cell. This one is as it has been, as it has decayed over the years. It's definitely not a place I want to spend a lot of time in. What do you think, Amy?
I just actually said the same thing. Day and night.
I'm not sure I'd want to spend a lot of time on here. On the other hand, it could be a good place for a rave.
There you go. Let's give it a try.
I don't know. I say not only did they want to isolate the prisoners, they also wanted silence. There was 20 inches of masonry between the cells. The guards wore wool socks their shoes to muffle the sound. So it was quiet. It was dead quiet in here. So Annette, what do you think? A fixer-upper?
It needs some work.
New apartment? So here's a model of what it looks like. We just came through cell block 1 there. And now we're in the radial central of the prison. And all these cell blocks radiate out from this spot. 7, 6, 4. Now we're going up cell block 7. Cell block 7, the upper level was set back to give it a more gallery feel so there would be more light on the first floor. And hundreds of prisons worldwide copied this. My wife is shaming me for going out of order. I have gone out of sequence and I skipped ahead to shoot some stuff. And she tells me I'm missing things and Steve Buscemi is going to get mad at me.
How about paying attention a little bit there, okay? Hey, focus.
Because he says to go to a certain number and I'm just skipping ahead. So I feel properly chastised. And I tell you, if you come on one of these things, follow the rules. Like these people, like these 5 people, follow the rules. Don't be like Bill and just go anywhere you want. It's just not allowed. And here's another one that's sort of partially restored, but you can still see the state of decay that happened over the years. So if you look right here, the light switches for all the cells. So the guards could turn the lights in the cells on and off. So now we're outside in the yard. So the prison was aging and it was becoming difficult to manage the prison, do repairs, handle all the prisoners with the outmoded technology and conditions in the prison. So they ended up closing. They started closing in phases in the 60s and eventually closed it for good in 1971. And you can see right here, this was the backstop. This was actually the playing diamond in the yard for baseball. And the prisoners would play baseball right in here. You see, this is what happens when you leave the original benches here in the yard to just decay. The wood's rotten off most places. There's not much left. So there's the backstop. Now if we pull over here, if you see up on top of the wall, that fence, that was installed there because so many balls were being hit out of the prison yard. They threw that up there to try and keep the balls inside the prison yard. Funny thing was, sometimes the balls got thrown back into the yard. Who was throwing them? Sometimes they threw balls back and maybe threw something that was inside the ball to try and give to the prisoners. Maybe a little tool or a little piece that might help them escape. Very, very tricky, very tricky. Did you know that this was a baseball diamond?
That's what
Yeah.
they said.
The chairs and tables here,
Not
they're
original.
original. No, they are. They were. Steve Buscemi just told me. Those were, these chairs and tables were original to the prison, and it created an extra level of difficulty when playing baseball. Could you knock the ball through the table and chairs? It was something to dance around and, you know, interfere with players, base runners. It was a very, a much more complicated game than regular baseball, so that's why the prisoners liked it.
You're so full of crap.
Don't listen to the doubting Thomas over here. I'm selling you facts and history right here. When the site was abandoned in 1971, they never expected anyone to be in here again. So it just got taken over completely by vegetation. Definitely some rumors here that the prison is haunted. We're getting ready to go into, they do offer guided tours of certain sections of the prison, so we're going to get a chance to check out the hospital, so you don't get to see this all the time. Don't drop the soap. It was just telling us that when they opened this cell block 3 originally, it opened with no locks. It's kind of a problem for prisoners getting out, so they have the elderly and really sick inmates were in here. And eventually just became the hospital wing. This is one of the original feeding holes back in the 1830s here. They would feed the prisoners through these holes. And they determined it wasn't working very well, so they eliminated it. But this is one of the few areas in the prison that one of the original feeding holes exists as it was in the 1830s. This is the operating room, and prisoners receive medical treatment here. Many of the prisoners attended as nurses or assistants. This little tree right here, when they first recovered the prison and were trying to clear all the debris after 20 years of abandonment, this tree was going through the operating room, and they cut off that piece there to show where it was going through, but it was basically getting ready to tear down the whole operating room. And guess who got operated on here?
Al Capone.
Al Capone. Twice was operated in this very room. This is facing southwest in the operating room in 1958. And this is facing southwest in the operating room today. Al Capone's cell is down this hallway. Do you think he's still here?
I think he might be.
There's a possibility he may still be here. We'll find out. And here is Al Capone's cell. Doesn't look too bad. He's obviously not here right now. They do have some information that says Al Capone received extra special treatment and was able to have some nicer things in his cell. But then more recent documents have put that into doubt. And said maybe he wasn't getting as special treatment as some have reported. Apparently, when Al Capone was released, it was very popular. Everybody wanted to catch a glimpse of the famous gangster. Escaped! She escaped!
Freedom!
Say it's the most influential prison in history. It influenced hundreds of different prisons all across the US, Europe, and Asia. Many still in use today. Long before Walt Disney came up with hub and spoke, in the 1800s, they'd already come up with a hub and spoke plan. They just didn't call their cell blocks Tomorrowland and Adventureland. Disney actually designed after a prison?
Apparently, the warden of the prison sentenced this cute little, well, not little, black Labrador to life in prison for killing his cat. Booked him in, mugshot and everything. So says the video. It's very sad. Poor doggy spent his life in prison.
Pet may be gone, but he's not forgotten. He's even got his own magnet in the gift shop. Right next to Al Capone. Gotta say, that Tim Tracker has his merchandise everywhere these days. So this was pretty cool, the Eastern State Penitentiary, wasn't it? It was really fascinating. Look at history, some fun, some rebels, some ruins still in there. They've restored a bit of it. But we appreciate you joining us. And so remember, kids, have a good time all the time, even in prison.
Walk through a party in the county jail. Prison hours there that began to wail. The band was jumping and the joint began to swing.